Hi everyone, welcome back to Calvi Homestead. My name is Brooke and I wanted to do a little tour of my mom and I's garden this year. So I am going to be putting out a video of what is going on with my homestead and how everything is going to be changing, but I thought it'd be super fun just to do a super quick garden tour with you guys to show you what my mom and I are planting this year and that everything we want to preserve this year. And I want to take you along on this journey with us because last year we tried this garden this size and we were not prepared. This year we were, I'd say 50% more prepared. We still need to focus on our soil health and building our soil health. So our soil's not perfect, but we're doing the best we can with what we have. We have been composting our cow manure, chicken manure, stuff like that. And we hope within the next few years, our soil will just be amazing. But we're gonna start off actually in what we call the small garden. And this was the original garden at my mom's house. All right, so right here we are facing the small garden, and then here's the pasture. None of the cows are up here right now. Oh, they're back there in the shade. So this is the garden my mom originally started with. Also, I'm going to be answering a few questions I don't answer in this video, probably in my next video, talking about where my mom's homestead is going and where my homestead is going and what's happening. So this is my Cali girl right here. This is a plaque that I got my mom a couple years ago for Mother's Day. It says Mom's Garden. But we've put a lot of work into this. My mom's put a ton of work into this, and I'm super excited with the progress so far. So let's go on in. So first, off to the left, again, weeds, always, but we have some Nasturtiums here, and we actually transplanted these out, and I'll show you other Nasturtiums that I have, that we have in a different area of the garden, and show you the size comparison. Like, these are blooming or flowering while these are super small, which is not good. You actually want them to get very leafy first, and they did not. And we transplanted these out, so that's, I don't know, they're just, I'm assuming it's just way better just to direct sow these Nasturtiums. But then we have rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of squash. And you can see in this strip right here that nothing really came up. So again, we're working on our garden soil. We're also working on getting pollinating or flowers that will help with pollinating, stuff like that, because if you look in here, see that little teeny squash that didn't get pollinated. So if you ever see squash like this, let me try to find a good one for you. A better one. Let's go over here. So if you ever see a little baby squash come on, and then you see them start doing, well, that one just fell off, but he was just connected. And if you ever see them like starting to rot from the end, that just means that that flower did not get pollinated. And you can hand pollinate with a Q-tip, and see, we have a couple doing that. So there's another one that's starting to shrivel right here, and that is because it did not get pollinated. So again, you can do that with a Q-tip and pollinate them yourself. We have 5 different squash here, which I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. So 5 different squash here. And then on this last row right here, again, weeds, don't mind me. This is actually not saffron, it's safflower. So it's kind of like a, I guess a knockoff of saffron. And so you can kind of use it like saffron, called safflower instead. So that's our first year trying those. So that'll be interesting. This back here is our asparagus patch. So this is its first year. So nothing going on with that. If we turn directly around, we have some herbs over here. So we have some thyme that's starting to flower here. You can pluck that off if you want, or you can just leave it. We have parsley here. This is just kind of like a little mini herb area. We have herbs. That's probably a weed, but we have herbs around the garden. This is some more thyme here. That's probably a weed. That is marigolds here. And then here we have some sage, borage, rosemary. Look at these adorable blue balloon flowers. My mom planted these last year and they never came up. And then this year she said they came back. So that's super fun, but they are so adorable. I'll put the actual name of them in here, but look at that. That is so cute. And then we got some lavender that has already been being used for tea. And then down here, the chickens like to get in here, so we put this wire up because they like to dust bathe in these 2 pots while the herbs were coming up. But here is limoncello, lemon balm, and also mandarin lemon balm. And then over here is oregano. Here's a little sitting stump. And then let me just kind of give you an overview. This is where we came in. And then off to the right, we have a little bed here. And then we have some rows here that are full of weeds. But we're going to kind of put this to rest and use this for our fall garden. Even though it still has some stuff producing right now, it'll be mainly our fall garden this year. So in this first row are bush beans. The second row are bush beans. And lots of flowering going on in those. This row right here was kale. It was cilantro. The cilantro bolted down here in that kale. You can leave it and let it, if it makes it through the summer, let it go through the fall, let it start growing again, let it go through a frost, and it'll taste amazing. And then we have some panels here. These were peas. These are about done. We have been having 100-degree weather, and you can see the bottom of some of those are just, they're done. But they do have a lot on them still, and I did pick some of these like super fat ones, and they were still really good. So, I mean, they're everywhere. They need to get picked, or we're going to leave them to dry for seed. And then back here, here's the cilantro that is bolted. Cilantro loves cold weather. They're a very early spring and fall crop. They do not like our summers. It gets way too hot. And this back corner is kind of an under construction area. You can see like this area here is weeds. We're still working on this. We're still going to be doing stuff with this next year. This year we are not. But here was a lot of compost. This corner right here was just tons of cow manure. And you can see stuff looks a little wilty. It's because it's midday, very hot, and it'll perk back up tonight. But these are all sunflowers, these big ones right here. And then remember those nasturtiums that we transplanted. So we transplanted those, and I think the same day we popped some seeds in the ground over here and planted these. And look at the massive size difference of these nasturtiums. Definitely direct sow nasturtiums if you can. These aren't even flowering yet, which is a good thing. You want them to get nice and big and healthy before they flower. So there's that. Some of this stuff right here is flowers that we planted. Some of it is weeds. I'm not sure which is which. So we're just kind of playing it by ear right now. But yeah, lots of sunflowers. We just made a little sunflower corner. I transplanted some cinnamon basil back there because that's really good for tea. And since everything in here was doing so good, I thought it'd be really fun to just try it out back there. My mom has some grapevines on the fence back there, but the cows like to munch on those, so they're probably not going to do much. And again, weeds under construction. Hopefully next year we can get that built up and do good with it. And then I need to get in here and weed and do some stuff, but you know how it goes. So that is it. Oh no, that's not it, because we have over here Again, this is kind of our random area. So we do have some bush beans here. We have our marigolds there in honor of our late milk cow, Jersey milk cow marigold. You can see those bush beans are just popping over here. We have some cucumber to climb up there. Again, bush beans. And then you guys see some cucumbers back here. Oh, my shadow. The cucumbers back here, they are just, it's the ground, guys. Your soil, we just have to build it up. You gotta build your soil up. And we're working on it. On the outside of the garden here, we have 2 little totes and some more herbs. So let's go ahead and walk out here. Ducks are talking to us. Okay. So, over here, I always forget what this one is. Always. Every time. I don't know. Here's some mint. That has been being plucked regularly. So, it may not look the greatest, but that's because we have harvested so much of it. And it just keeps, mint, spearmint, mint, peppermint. It is relentless. So, we are taking advantage of that. I love the smell. Okay. And then over here, again, this is up here because of the chickens. We have some lettuce leaf basil in here. I just planted a cinnamon basil in there. We have some dill popping up in here. Planted another basil. And yeah, that's it for this garden. Super adorable, super fun, super weedy. But whose garden isn't weedy at some point during the season? If yours is not, I suggest you come over and hang out with us in our garden. All right, directly to the right. This was our big master plan last year. We fenced off an area 60 by 60 by 60 by 60. Oh my gosh, we barely got anything out of it last year. The weeds were insane. It was ridiculous. We had a little Father's Day get together, kids in the pool. So you can tell we cut this garden in half because this is all we could manage this year. I mean, it was just too much. And we got the ducks up here. Start eating down everything. Lots of bugs in here. So the ducks are here. Look at over here. This has been kind of cut down. See that? Those wild carrots over there. That is what this whole area was last year. We could not get them under control. So let's go in here and I'll show you what we're working with. So here's the entrance of the big garden. Obviously, we're not super unique on our names. Maybe we should try to think of another name for each garden. But I'm just going to do a quick overview in here. This is obviously still a work in progress. But you can tell we have a lot better weed control in here. There are still tons of weeds in here, but not nearly. I mean, they are manageable-ish to an extent. Like I said, I've been gone for a week, so I haven't been putting in my time, I guess you could say. But yeah, we laid these tarps down, killed everything, and then kind of folded them over and made rows. So the tarps are still in the rows. Those are just leaves blowing over there. And then while I was gone this last week, Mom came through and put straw. Oh, look, a deer. Super crazy. I can't believe I caught that on video. Mom came through and put straw on the actual rows and to help with weed control. So she also cut, these were all like this high in weeds, like this corner right here. So she must have had Dad cut it down and then lay some cardboard down and they put some mulch over it. But so let's get into this and then I'll let you know what everything is. All right, so let's start over here. So what we have is we laid a tarp down. Actually, this is the tarp that we had laid down to kill all of the weeds. And then what we did was cut holes in them and planted our melons. So we have several different melon varieties in here. And these we only planted two or 3 weeks ago. And so we have that. And then let's just start in this row. So we have pallets up against the gate here. And that is where our cucumbers will climb. So we have the cucumbers going. In between those pallets, we have, why can't I think of those? They're the mini sweet pepper, bell peppers. So good. And I actually started these seeds from a bag of baby sweet bells. And I saved the seeds. And this will be their 3rd year on that set of seeds. And last year they did great, so hopefully they do great again. Right in here we have a long row of bush beans, and we also have soybeans because we want to do edamame because that's delicious. Then we have some more cukes here, and the first set didn't come up. That's why these are so small. So Mom actually replanted these. So again, that's a weed right there. But these are the sweet bell pepper plants. More cukes, a different variety. Sweet bell pepper, cukes. I think the ones down on here at the end are the soybeans to do edamame. I just transplanted out some basil, and you can see how shriveled it's doing. So I'm hoping they pop back. There's 3 here. I think I put a couple over here. And then go down the end of this aisle. We had some just random fencing that we weren't using. And here are our climbing pole beans. Just different varieties here. So we'll let them climb up, and then we can go on either side and harvest those. There is one of their cats there. That's Theo. Hi, Theo. And then, so I guess since I'm right here, we have 3 rows here of okra, different varieties of okra. Transplanted some more basil here. Sorry for my shadow. This is just a cherry tomato plant that was bought at the store. Probably just, it's not doing too hot. Oh, that looks like it has some hornworm damage. Which means we probably need to start getting out the BT. So let's walk down this next row. This is actually, nothing is here right now. How we didn't get anything there, I don't know. I don't know what happened. So let's go back down this row, and we'll talk about both sides. So here, those are all eggplants, different varieties. I think this side is the bigger varieties, and those are the fingerling varieties. And then we have, starting here at the cattle panel. Oh no, that cattle panel's for the next row. We need to get more cattle panels up here and in the next row. But here are all our tomato plants that are in dire need of some pruning. But it's getting very hot out right now, which is why I wanted to shoot a video real quick. And then I cannot prune right now because we're going on about noon and it's getting really hot. But I wanted to take you down to show you, and I don't know if everybody battles with this, but I know in our area it is a huge problem. And when you plant eggplants, you get these little bugs. I want to say it's flea beetles that just want to decimate your eggplants. Every single one of our plants looks like that. I mean, they just go to town. If you make sure you let your plants get nice and healthy and big, they can withstand that flea beetle damage. But if you plant them out too small, they will not make it. And I think we've had a couple that haven't made it. But also spraying with neem oil helps with that. And make sure you do that in the evening. But neem oil helps with that. Look how bushy our tomatoes are getting, which is what you don't really want. What you need to do is go in and prune, which is if you see a Y here, you prune that little extra piece right there in the middle. And yeah, you can actually grow those little, I guess, suckers or whatever you call them. You can actually plant those and make a whole new tomato plant. But as you can see, we have a very big garden and keeping up is very difficult. So we do need to get out here and prune these. So more eggplant. Obviously, we have some calendula. That is the antique calendula, I believe. But look how gorgeous these are. So we'll be plucking these and drying them to use. Also, marigolds. We mainly just use the marigolds for tea. And we planted a lot of them for Marigold, our milk cow that passed away. So those are really pretty. More marigolds, eggplants along the side here, more tomatoes, more marigolds. Here's some tomatoes. I don't even know what each tomato is now. It's just going to be a surprise what variety it is. So 2 more basils I transplanted out. They're actually perking up a little bit, which makes me happy. So there's another one looking pretty pitiful still. So this row, again, we're going to put more cattle panel up here, here, and over here. So half of this row, all of this row, except for maybe a few things here and there, and all of this row, except for maybe a few things here and there, are our tomatoes. But also Olo. So look, here's some more of that calendula. And look at this one. So pretty. Love calendula. So yeah, I got some basil put in here. And then if you go down to this next row right here, whoop, that's all peppers. I think we do have a couple peppers at the end of this row. But these are all hot peppers. Shishitsu, different kinds of jalapenos. Did I say shishitsu? Shishito. What am I talking about? Shishito peppers. Jalapenos. Oh man. Ahi, not charpita. Ahi pineapple. We have a couple different ahi varieties in this row here. But look at this. These are the purple Hungarian jalapenos. And look at these little blooms they put off. So these are purple jalapenos, but these are so pretty. They're little blooms. So that's cool. And then, yep, I got 2 down at this end. And then our last row here, this beautiful row here. All right, I'm back down at this end of the garden because my phone overheated. That's how hot it is, which means I probably need to get it out of the sun and the garden, because really you should be working in your garden in the early morning and in the early evening, not the hottest part of the day like I am right now. But so this last row here, this gorgeous row, is all of our winter squash. And we wanted to do a good amount of winter squash because we want to be able to store them throughout the year in the basement and have food all year long without having to really preserve it. I mean, you let them cure and then you just store them in an area that has decent airflow and is cool without any sunlight. And, you know, depending on the variety, we have several varieties here. I need to look up what we hear. I think Mom planted this row actually. And then I need to look up what was planted, and then I'll try to leave it on the screen here. What are you doing, Milo? Don't come in here. I left the gate open. The ducks are enjoying their pool, their little area. But anyway, look at this beautiful row. So what we're doing, we're going to put cattle panels and put the ends here and let them lean on this fence. And yeah, we'll probably have to crawl through them to harvest our squash, but it is what works, or hopefully will work. But look at these, how gorgeous they are. And remember how I said we're working on our soil health. And so like you can see, like this end down here is doing amazing. And like down here we're a little bit smaller. Not bad, but this one's pretty small. But like why we're putting cattle panels up is you can see they're already starting to vine out. And so we're going to have to redirect these over this way because we want them to grow up those cattle panels. But yeah, everything's looking great. See, that one's kind of vining out, heading towards our peppers. Oh, look, I'm not going to pick it. We have a couple peppers. Oh, that one rotted a little bit. It probably came on too early. But look right here. We have another pepper. It's actually super early for peppers. So yeah, I'll have to, oh, there's another one, guys. I'm just missing stuff. These are, you can pick them this small. I'm not going to. Actually, I'm going to pluck this one off because it's, has a little rot on it. Again, last year we dealt with some blossom end rot. That is a soil issue. I can't remember right off the top of my head. I think it's a calcium issue. I'm going to have to relook that up and see. We are going to fertilize organically. We're going to pest control organically. We're not 100% organic, but we're working on it. So for like pest control. And so, oh yeah, we got some hornworm damage over here. Let me show you. Which means we probably need to treat because see how all the leaves are just eating off this? That is from a hornworm, which means we need to spray this with BT, which is a natural pest control for like caterpillars, which works especially well for tomato plants and hornworms, stuff like that. So, yeah, that is the garden, ladies and gentlemen. Here is our harvest. I'm kidding. But I wonder if that's a thing. I wonder if this is an issue. Maybe I'll have to look it up. Or if it just came on too early and wasn't ready, didn't have enough nutrients, stuff like that. Or if we need to go ahead and fertilize. So, here we go. Let's walk back here. I'll give you an overview. Oh, something else we're going to do before I give you the overview is right here. Like I said, most of these are small watermelon and cantaloupe plants. But these specifically, this one, and this one on the end here are like miniature. Like they're not going to get very big. We're going to put a cattle panel over this and arch it over this and let them climb up that cattle panel. And I think that would be really pretty. So, say hi to the ducks one more time. And then we're going to do an overview. So yeah, not much happening. No harvesting happening yet. A lot of the tomatoes have blossoms on them. But when the temperatures are like this, it's really hard for them to produce. So hopefully at night we can get cool enough to really, hopefully, Callie, no. Get out there, squeaky butt. Hopefully we can have enough come on before it gets too hot. If the weather starts getting way too hot, they won't set fruit. So, and then there's the small garden. Here's the pool for all the grandkids and nieces and nephews. And yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what we're working with. And I want to keep you updated. I want to show you how we preserve everything. We're really wanting to preserve a lot of food this year, put food back with the way the world is now. Who knows? And we just want to grow food. You know, we grow ducks. We have, 30 to 40 chickens. I don't know. It might be 30. We have 6 cows. We have hogs in the back there. So really, if you guys want to stay tuned and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification button to watch our journey with trying to become more self-sufficient. Before I completely finish this garden tour, I forgot to show you our little wild blackberry patch. So these blackberries don't get huge. So you can see the big garden right there. This whole patch, there's other stuff in here. And you can hear the hogs. Let me walk up to them. But you can see the blackberries. coming on. Callie, leave them alone. So yeah, thought that'd be interesting to show you guys. So here's about the size they come out to be. Sorry about the dog barking. About this size. So they're pretty small, but definitely manageable. We make pancake syrup with them. We make jellies with them. And I thought that'd be something you guys would be interested in too. Usually, it's very hard to pick these blackberries because they're in the full sun, obviously. And when they're ready to be picked, it is so hot out here. So we need to get on long sleeves and long pants because of all of the thorns and if we want to get back in there. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on the blackberry patch as well. Now I need to go get my dog to leave our coonies and then market hogs or meat hogs alone.